And then, Ragini, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself as our guest.
Oops, what happened? Oh,
Oh, we lost her.
oh,
There,
yeah, yeah,
coming
she's in.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Maybe
so
she
sorry. I was trying to
no.
hit join audio and I accidentally exited. Um,
Right.
Hi, I'm Ragini. I live in California. I'm a first-time mom. My little daughter, Ria, she's upstairs napping right now. She's almost 9 months, and I'm a very, very happy Cradlewise customer. My husband and I are definitely embracing that California Bay Area sort of tech lifestyle. That's not to say that, we knew anything like this existed. So I have lots to tell you as I'm still learning the process of parenting, of being a mom, of, outsourcing help to different innovations that we've got available to us. So yeah, that's me. I'm looking forward to meeting you and having conversations with all of you.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much, Ragini. Welcome. And I really understand, how incredibly, precious your 1 hour is. So thanks for
Oh, good.
making, for this demo. And I just like to mention that, we just met Ragini maybe a few minutes ago, and she's not affiliated with Cradlewise. So she agreed to do this just because she loves her crib. And I wish, she was affiliated in some way and could be an ambassador too. But yeah, this is our promise to our parents that we honestly just mail our customers and just say, if anybody would like to share their experience. And that's how we got to know Ragini. So thanks, Ragini, and looking forward to your inputs and experiences using Cradlewise.
Of course.
Great. So, hello everybody. I'm Radhika, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cradlewise. I'm a mom of two kids. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. This did not start as a venture idea. 9 years ago, when my daughter was born, we were like sleepless. And since both my co-founder, who is also my husband, we come from the tech backgrounds, our innovations don't stop at labs and our offices. We also, are very hustle oriented at home, and we built something that worked for our daughter. And when we are looking out for solutions, we realized that, none of these big baby brands do understand how babies sleep or what parents want, right? And that's how we came up with this innovation. Because when my daughter was sleeping, I always had one eye on her. And the moment she stirred, as to rush to her and pat her or hum her back to sleep. And that moment was so critical that ensured that she continued to sleep for the next 45 minutes or 1 hour and completed her nap. And if she woke up crying, and that's when I realized that she has woken up crying, and then that's it, right? Like the entire cycle just started, and there was very little chance that she went back to sleep because she was overstimulated. So this simple observation that it's important to safeguard sleep before they wake up crying, this was the genesis of Cradlewise. And I like, I don't know how Ragini, your daughter is, but my daughter was like, at the stroke of 30 minutes, she used to wake up. Her sleep cycles was so tiny that you couldn't get anything done. It took so much of effort to help her go back to sleep. And then it was like just 30 minutes of quietness before I could, get back to her and start the process again. So this was the whole genesis of Cradlewise. And here we are, like, my kids slept in the ugly prototypes of this. And I'm so, so jealous that, you have this beautiful crib for your babies. But, it has been so rewarding and fulfilling because I just love talking to parents. And here I am as part of my company. We get to chat with a group of parents every Friday. So thank you for joining. I know it's a work day and maybe you must be at work or already if you have your little one in your arms, so that's okay. But this is a AMA session, and please feel free to unmute and ask us any questions. I promise that it will not disturb us, or if you want to just place it in the chat, Emily can get those questions to me and Ragini. All right, so the way I'm going to structure this session is we're going to talk about the structure of the crib, how it's designed. Then I'm going to talk about the different modes of operation, move on to the app, show you the actual app and show the features. Then I'm going to show you a close-up of the crib so that you can get a feeling for the space, how to convert it from bassinet to crib mode, show you the linen and talk about the certifications. And if you have any questions while I'm explaining these features, please feel free to ask them as we speak. All right, so let's get started. So you would have seen that the crib has a baby monitor here. There is a arc here, and it has a baby monitor. Unlike cribs, right? Like cribs will just be a furniture or a structure, but we have designed a small bar here that can house the baby monitor. And this baby monitor gets a full view of the crib, and it can sense signs of stirring, and it starts rocking along with soothing music. So I'm just going to give it a push right now. I know you all are excited to see. It is gesture enabled, so you don't need your mobile app every time you, Emily, I think so there's somebody in the waiting room. So you just give it a push and it's going to start bouncing. And it's going to start bouncing at the lowest intensity and slowly ramp up to the highest, to the intensity that you have set on the app. So it ensures that there are no jerky movements and it's very gradual. I'm going to cycle through the different intensities so that you can get a feel for it. You can see the silhouette here. This is the bassinet. And at end of 6 months, or when the baby is able to push its shoulders up on its arms, you have to shift it from bassinet to the crib mode. The same bed drops down and converts to a crib. So that way you have everything in this, and it's a constant sleep environment for the first 2 years. We have even parents using it beyond 2 years because now the kid has associated it with sleep, and that consistency is so important. You'll realize if you're a first time parent, you'll realize slowly that that consistency itself is helps reduce anxiety around the point of 6 months when you have to transition generally for other products from a bassinet to a crib. So that was the whole idea, and the way we have designed it is we did not want slats. From the design perspective, we ensured that we don't go with the typical slat design because it feels like a like a prison or a cage, and we came up with this design which has a nice warm feeling with a cloth and has a more modern look to it. Yep, and it's a standard mini crib size. It can fit easily between your wardrobe and your master bedroom bed for the first 6 months if you intend to have the baby in the same room as yours, and then can transition to its own nursery. So the way Cradlewise operates is it has 2 modes of operation. It has a auto mode and a manual mode. So in auto mode, the baby monitor is going to sense the first signs of stirring. So what all do we sense for? We sense for opening of eyes, movements, cry, and even changes in breath rate. So when the baby is about to wake up, generally they will start twitching a little bit, and then they will half open their eyes. If they don't see the parent, generally they'll start crying. So there are a lot of cues that babies give before they wake up. Even their breath rate, right? When they are in deep sleep, their breath rate is regular. When they're about to transition to the light sleep, their breath rate starts becoming irregular. So we don't do any medical grade breath rate detection. This breath rate is even not, we don't even give it to you on the app, but it's used internally as a marker for detecting early wake up. So with all, we collate all of this data, and we're able to sense that the baby is about to wake up, and then it starts bouncing and also plays a white noise to ensure that the baby is soothed back to sleep, because their sleep cycles are very short. That point at around 30 to 45 minutes is when they tend to wake up, and then they cannot self-soothe, and that's why you have these it's fragmented, right, through the day and night, and that's what gets really exhausting. So this is the core feature, and we have like parents who say like, I was sitting beside the crib, my baby stirred, it started bouncing, and I got extra 30 minutes to just finish what I was doing. So here I would like to, get Ragini in and ask her like, how have you benefited from the bounce, or from the which mode of operation are you using?
Yeah, I mean, everything Radhika says, this is taking me back to a few months ago when my daughter was born. We had no idea what we were doing. We were hopeful that this amazing product would be as amazing as it said it was. So I will say that babies don't have any sense of circadian rhythm for the first 4 months or so. These are all facts that I learned, as I went along. So they're not able to distinguish between night and day. The only thing, every baby's different. The only thing they all have in common is that they love hugs and snuggles 24/7. So the second they open their eyes, they don't see you there, they want comfort. The good news is that Cradlewise helps to mimic the rocking and sort of snuggling that you do when they're, the way that we're turning from our left shoulder to our right shoulder as adults. Like, babies are kind of also making movements and shifts. The problem is that when they're super young, they're not able to self-soothe even for that one little movement or turn. Cradlewise has actually been weirdly helpful in those critical early stages. I want to say sometimes, we would be looking, I would hear, and we'd immediately sit up in bed and jump up to like go into soothe mode and go to the nursery, or at one point we had her in our room as well in the crib. And before I even made it to the crib, she would start to kind of calm down. I mean, it was only 7 steps away, but weirdly enough, it has that early detection system which works really well, especially in those first few months that are the hardest in many ways. I think that, every time she would wake up, it would kind of help lull her back to sleep. And I think it would help extend our overall night by like our actual, night, like 9 to 10 p.m. to, 6, 7 a.m. by, I don't know, I want to say like 1 to 2 whole hours. So like she'd wake up, it would put her back to sleep for like 20, 30 minutes or for another couple hours. Then she'd wake up again. So she'd wake up 3, 4 times in a night, for example. And each time it would put her back to sleep. So it actually helped extend her overall duration of night sleep by a whole 1 to 2 hours on average. I'm terrible at math. It could actually be more. So that's one thing. Radhika, I don't know if you want me to like talk a little bit more. I know we just spent like 5 minutes before
You
the
could
call.
talk a little bit about the bounce, because that's one thing which is unique, right? Like, as you mentioned, it imitates what you as a parent do. We bounce from the knees or sit on a yoga ball. So does your baby love the bounce? I just want to understand how helpful
Yeah.
it has been. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we toggle between using Cradlewise settings on auto and on manual. So it depends, right? Like, she's changing every week, every month. So there is no consistent approach that we've taken. It depends on, what the phase of development and growth is. That's my personal experience. But I will say that, again, in those early few months, having it on auto was a godsend. Having the ability to keep something on manual as well, if you notice certain patterns or certain things are working for your baby with bounce, it's great. So you can set it and forget it, and then let it do its thing, or you can switch to the manual mode where it kind of keeps bouncing so that you have, you can turn that off after, let's say, an hour of consistent bouncing, or you can have it on for many, many hours. Honestly, there's so many degrees of flexibility because you can go from auto to manual and you can vary the intensity with a simple slide of the button. It's pretty great. I will say that it's very smooth. It's not up and down. It's not jarring at all. So the actuator actually works to deliver a very, very glidey experience up and down. So no complaints.
Great. Thanks, Ragini. So yeah, that's what Ragini mentioned, that there is a lot of flexibility that's inbuilt, right? Because every baby is different. I mean, you'll realize as you parent that there is a particular kind of setting. Maybe it's more gentler setting that works. So we have like a super gentle bounce, which is very light. I'll show it to you. It's even very difficult. It's just imitating how you are walking with the baby. We have also like different intensities that you can set. You can keep it In always on bounce mode, we don't recommend that as often. It's maybe during the sleep regression phase when you need that extra help, you could turn on always on bounce. So we have a lot of customization and flexibility built in, just because you know your baby best, apart from all the AI and early detection that we do. That's what the auto mode is. And in manual mode, as Ragini mentioned, is you take complete control. You can set you can set when the crib should bounce, how many minutes, like 30 minutes you want to set the timer to, and what intensity. That way you are completely overriding the functionality of the crib, and it just obeys you. Because if you want it to just have a manual override from the auto mode, you can always do that. Yep. So now let me just share the app. I'm going to walk through the app and show all that we talked about. Yeah. So this is a dashboard of, I hope everybody can see the screen.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So this is the dashboard. This is where you land when you open the app. You can see the live video stream of the baby. You can, the basic controls which are used often are available right from the dashboard. So if you can see on the left bottom, there's a crib icon, and that's animating, which indicates, because when you see the app, you cannot tell whether the crib is bouncing or not, because there is no relative motion between the monitor and the crib, because the monitor is attached to the crib, right? So this app, if you're in another room, you can see that the crib is bouncing right now. It's going to continue to bounce for the next 19 minutes in manual mode at a 75% intensity. So I'm going to increase the intensity to the highest so that you can also see how that looks. You can always increase the time. You can, at any given point of time, you can keep the bounce timer for 30 minutes. We don't allow bouncing more than 30 minutes, because it's like if the baby is not sleeping beyond 30 minutes of bounce, means there's something else that the baby needs. So that's like a policy decision that we have. And then you can shift between auto mode and the manual mode of bounce. You can also play music. I'm going to turn the original sound on because Zoom filters any sound. You're able to hear the white noise, right? Yeah, true. So even the white noise, it starts gradually, and it will keep playing in a loop without any breaks. Because when we initially did some trials, we got to know when the song stopped and started, that was the point when that used to disturb and the babies used to wake up. So we have our own white noise synthesizer, which generates a continuous white noise through the time you have kept it on. So there are no breaks in the sound. So that's the white noise. On the dashboard, you can also, like, we have a way to use the app in picture-in-picture mode, so that if you're multitasking while you're watching the baby, that's possible. And yeah, you can see a quick history of what happened, like, the baby stirred and then the crib started bouncing here itself. So that's what is there on the dashboard. Then we have the sleep analytics page. This is the sleep map of your baby, right? You'll be able to sleep, like, I don't have an actual baby here, so, but what you can see is that the baby has been sleeping for the last 30 minutes or so. And that slot is marked with a dark blue color. So you'll be able to see how much has the baby slept, how many minutes the baby was awake, and how many times did the crib actually soothe the baby back to sleep. So, okay, I don't have an example of the soothes, but basically what you'll see is that you'll see a pink dot at the instances when the crib actually suit the baby back to sleep. And you can go back in time to view how the baby slept maybe a week ago, and you have all the data at your fingertips. You have a marker here that helps you exactly view the sleep slots. Like baby slept from 6:32 a.m. to 8:31 a.m. So you can exactly keep a count of how well the baby slept. We are continuously improving this and would love, your inputs as we really invite parents to co-create with us if they have any suggestions to improve the UI or any features that you would like to see. We are all ears to your suggestions. And you can share this in case you are visiting your pediatrician or want to share it with somebody who is guiding you on sleep. You can always do that. So you have all these features on the sleep analytics dashboard. Then we have a sound dashboard where there are different inbuilt tracks, like the deep sleeper or a noisy room and sensitive sleeper. But apart from that, the great thing is that you can customize a track. So you can create a white noise track that suits your baby, and you'll realize that's a particular kind of your favorite track that works all the time. So you can cycle between the different colors of noise. So now what is this, right? Like white, pink, and brown. As in white noise to brown noise, the noise kind of goes from being slightly jarring to mellow, right? Like the white noise is slightly more jarring, pink is more mellow, and the brown noise is having more lower frequencies, and it's like a low hum. We recommend pink noise. I think so. A lot of adult meditation apps and sleep apps also are recommending pink noise because it's closer to the womb sounds. You could overlay a nature sound like a light rain, oceans, and soft breeze, and also have like a very light heartbeat to simulate the womb environment. So you can now save this track, which suits best, and use this, and it will be on the dashboard, and you can play this track every time your baby goes back to sleep. So Ragini, please tell us if you are using the white noise, and did you like the white noise that comes with Cradlewise?
Yeah, I am using the white noise. I can't do without it. She won't let me creep away. My baby's a very sensitive sleeper, so I have to actually escape myself out of her room. And without the white noise feature, I would be lost. In all honesty, like again, it's amazing. I would love to see like even more, great sort of sounds that we can play. I know you guys have made some, improvements and you've added more things. So I think that there's so much good in the noise capabilities. And then, I'm looking forward to seeing what else you roll out. But yes, we can't use it without the noise at all.
Got it. Yep. White noise works best because it kind of drowns the ambient, especially if you have an elder toddler that's running around, and white noise can be a real savior for sleep. Great. Thanks for sharing that. And then you have the notifications dashboard where you can see what happened through the day. You can see all the events, like when the baby stirred with the timestamp. These notifications you can customize. Maybe you don't want, if you're in the home and you are only placing the baby in, you don't want baby in and out alerts. But if you're at office and if you have a caregiver at home, maybe that could be helpful. So you can turn on, turn off notifications that pop up on your home screen. But whatever you do, all the notifications will sit in the notification tab, because we have a lot of parents who use this like a run through of the day as to what happened, to get a fair sense of, okay, did the baby sleep on time? Did this baby sleep enough? And all of that. So you can always customize which notification you can turn on and off. We do have some parents who say that there are a lot of notifications, but then please do reach out to us if you're unable to understand those settings, and we can help you out. We have a My Cradlewise tab where We send out month by month baby sleep guides, any product updates, bug fixes and features that we are launching. So do keep an eye on those notifications too. In the then now moving on to the settings.
Radhika, can I actually say one thing about the notifications?
Yes, yes.
So you know what's really helpful when you're a parent, you're sleep deprived, you're busy, you're trying to balance work, your baby cries, your first instinct is, potential to go pick them up. This notifications tab is kind of like it's a data keeper, right? Like you pick up your baby, you put them back. It helps you kind of have a reference at the end of the day or at a certain part during the day. Um, what time did I actually pick up my baby? What time did they go back to sleep? Sometimes you don't even know. Your instinct is just to comfort your kid, or sometimes there's a shift change from one parent to another, or from a parent to another caretaker. Maybe you've got, part-time help during the day or the night. This also helps you keep an accurate sense of what the sleep windows are and what the wake windows are, because you don't realize it in the moment. You're like, what time did she actually fall back asleep? So all of these disruptions, because babies don't, it's not like on or off, like they're constantly moving. Sometimes there's so many disruptions and interruptions and moments. So this I use on a daily basis. I especially verify it, with somebody who comes and, helps like on the caretaker zone, just to kind of confirm what the nap times and awake times were. I use this every day, multiple times, even to confirm my own sanity. Did I put her into the crib at 11, or was it actually, 11:45? It makes a difference. So that's the utility that I've personally felt with this baby alerts section.
That's so awesome to hear. Like, we did have some reviews that said that there were too many notifications, but yeah, I mean, there is so much of customization, and every parent, like, I mean, we have given the flexibility to parents. So, um, I'm glad to hear this, Ragini, that's what we had thought, that it's like a
Yeah,
log, right? I just want to
yeah,
see, because when
exactly.
you're in the moment, you are so like you're managing so
Mhm.
many things, you don't know. But if you go back in time, or what happened during the day, this
Yeah.
gives you an exact picture of all the events. So I'm glad.
Exactly. Yeah, because
Yeah.
totally. Like the alerts aren't delivering to my phone as much. We've customized it, but whenever I go in, I've got like the broader picture, which is great, right? So my phone only dings with certain alerts, but then
Yeah.
anytime I need to look, I can see it. It's amazing.
Right. And especially now with a lot of parents returning back to work at office, I'm sure this must be really helpful, because you have a caregiver or somebody at home. So yeah, now moving to the settings tab, these are like, you have different sections, and you have different settings for bounce, sound, the monitor. And as you notice here, you have a chat bubble, and this chat is our in-house tech support and in-house customer support. So this directly goes to Emily and her team, and we are pretty responsive Monday to Sunday, 24/7. We have an amazing team, and Emily, like, especially ensures that, parents, when they have a problem, it need to be addressed, because there's very, very less patience, or already we are, juggling between so many things. So please do reach out to us on the chat, and we have, like, I think so, for the chat, we respond within 2 hours max. It's 24 hours, right? Emily, I don't know what's the SLA there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that's about it. And in the bounce, you have different settings, right? Like, you can disable the bounce completely. You have a super gentle bounce, where the grip bounces in a very let me see. So when you turn on the super gentle bounce, you can see on the dashboard the intensity control goes off, because now you've capped it to a super gentle, and you've seen that the newborn stage, parents start using with this, and it's a very gentle bounce. I don't know if you want to. It's a very gentle bounce. It's like very light. It's like as though you're holding your baby and walking gently. So that's on the settings. You can keep it in always on bounce mode, and we have a very low percentage, like between 3 to 15%. So you can change the intensity for always on bounce between that level. We have not given a very high level for the bounce in always on mode. So that's the settings. Even the sound you can customize as to what happens when the baby falls asleep. Do you want to continue to keep the white noise on or stop it once the baby falls asleep? So you have that control. You can set limits for the volume, and you can also like test it out. Like, is this the volume that you want it to cap at? Then we also have the dark mode. I'm sorry, why am I confused? Yeah, I think so, it's here. Yeah. So in the dark mode, we got a lot of requests from parents that we use this app in the night, especially for keeping an eye. And it's difficult to stare at a bright screen at 3 a.m. in the morning. So our awesome product design team came up with a dark mode, which is not contrast, which is not like black, just turn the whites to black. We came up with mellow design that is soothing, and parents love this. We have a lot of parents using this just constantly on their app. Ragini, I don't know if you like the dark mode or you're using it. I'm not aware.
I think it is in dark mode. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
it's in dark
it's been
mode.
pretty
Right,
helpful.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. One very important functionality and something that I love the most is the caregiver team. I grew up with my grandparents in India, and I really feel that my kids miss that touch. But during the pandemic, we launched the product during pandemic. In the peak of the pandemic, we launched the product, and this was the most used feature. And now also we have like grandparents all over the world being part of this village through the app. You can just select a guardian with a view only mode and generate and share the link. This is a one-time usage link, and it can be shared only if the admin or you as a parent share the link with somebody. Even I cannot access your app if I want to. So and you have different levels of access. Maybe for your caregiver, you want to give view and control. We're coming up with some features where for your caregiver, you can give time-based control, which is like from maybe 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. when the caregiver
Ooh.
is in the home. So yeah, we're launching that too. So these are different caregivers that you can add to the app. And notifications, you can turn on, turn off certain notifications. So this is all, I think so, that I have in the app. Ragini, you want to add something to this?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm really excited about this time-stamped sort of access. That's amazing because it's something that we've also wondered about. Like, okay, if the crib is in your room, for example, and a caretaker has 24/7 access, how do we feel? So that's really awesome. Like
Right.
that's once again Cradlewise like doing their thing and listening to the real use cases that pop up, which it's hard to foresee every particular instance, but that's really, I'm glad to hear that. It's cool. It just adds another degree of freedom and flexibility so that you're comfortable. Actually, yeah, so my sister, I haven't granted her access, but she always asks me, "Hey, can I please get access to the Cradlewise app so I can watch Ria whenever I feel like it?" And my answer is always no. You can come over and change some diapers. So, but what Radhika said is true. Like, I actually have like a live request that, it's nice to log in and kind of see your niece, your nephew, your kid, your grandkid, whatever it is. So it does have more use cases than you would think.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of good things to say, which is why I'm such an avid user of the product. I think generally like what's been useful for me, and we've had Cradlewise, we got it before our daughter arrived. I remember we were really exciting, just random in no particular order. We actually bought Cradlewise after we had booked a Snoo, and also after we had gotten a standard, like regular, boring wooden pallet style crib. So we had all the options, and in the end, we never even assembled the regular crib. It's sitting in the garage, completely just a waste. And then we canceled our Snoo. We're pretty happy with it. So, we were very excited. The assembly is so easy. It's actually fun. Radhika and team have made the unboxing experience entertaining. So, you're in stress mode, you're trying to prep for your kid's arrival, and it's very simple. It's easy to set up. I think that something that's somehow not marketed, but which I discovered immediately, is that it's very portable. Thank goodness we didn't go with like the traditional crib that was, a hand me down from somebody else in the family, because that thing was a monstrosity. It was tiring just to even like get all the pieces. It's so heavy. Cradlewise is so portable. It's so lightweight. I mean, it looks beautiful, but much more importantly, in those early stages, we didn't know this at all. We had set the Cradlewise up in the nursery, but then we decided we wanted to put it in our room, to the point where Monday through Friday, we had the Cradlewise in the nursery. On Saturday, Sunday, we brought it into our room. It's that easy. You can move it with one hand. It glides and slides. Obviously, depends on your floor, but what I mean is it's such a friendly system. And believe me, there are times where, hey, let's say grandma's coming to visit and you actually, she wants to spend time with the baby at night. You can move the Cradlewise. You can't even imagine doing something like that with any other traditional crib at all. And it might sound like, oh, that's not really needed, or that sounds a bit extra. Oh, maybe that's just nice to have. Actually, I find that this is something you guys should, by the way, talk about, like how portable it is. So I
Yeah.
cannot emphasize that enough. We've literally had the crib in our room certain nights and then in another room other nights. It's that easy. It takes 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's something I love.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Radhika, like what you and team, like what you, Emily, and everyone else do, like what I like is, again, compared to a traditional crib, like it's not just that you're buying technology, but I feel like you've got like this hidden pool of support. Like you're buying a product that it's interactive in the sense, not just the actual product, but like there's somebody and there's a team of good thinkers and doers behind the product. So it kind of helps you not feel as alone in the parenting journey, and it's not just like, okay, what do I do? So I think that that's actually been like this very nice subconscious like feeling of support. And if you have a question, I don't know how they do it, because a lot of the team is parents too, apparently. I'm just learning as well. They respond. They're humans behind what you're buying. You're not just getting something and then that's it. So I feel like this is pretty incredible. They actually care about the customer post sale, which I honestly can't think of many other companies. And I am, as a consumer, very critical of how companies treat you once they have your sale. But I think that Radhika and team do a really good job. Like they're in it because they want to help in this really meaningful but confusing and difficult moment. And they have this like monthly product newsletter, and usually, we're like, oh my God, another email. Oh, it's marketing. No, like they actually write this newsletter because they're making all these innovations, but you're busy. You don't always notice that it's there, even though, the app is very easy to navigate. And they actually do a really good job telling you the story of what's changed, why they changed it, how you can access it, and how it can help you in your day or night, right? Because parenting is a 24/7 clock. So there's so much good that comes with Cradlewise, and it's not just the physical crib itself. And I think Radhika mentioned this at the beginning. Consistency is weirdly key for your baby. So what I like is that other products only last 3 months, because babies do grow so quick. It's this freaky cliche, but it's so true. And it's so bittersweet. So just when the baby gets used to it, just when you figured something out, oh, lo and behold, they've outgrown their diaper size, they've outgrown the crib, and now you have to figure out what's the next step so that I can solve, baby's rest needs, right? So I think it's cool that it has such a good wide range of time that you can use this product. And then what's also cool is you can really gently wean them off bounce. For example, like let's say you're at the 20-month mark and this crib is meant to be around 2 years. I know that sometimes it extends. Let's just say you want to start to get them a little bit less dependent on, bounce or whatever it is. With Cradlewise, you can with something like Snoo or something else, at least in my just personal research, as a new parent on the block. I don't think that that's possible, right? So there's so much more control that you have over your baby's sleep and rest journey, which again all sounded like just platitudes and just a bunch of research and information, an ideal state. But actually no, like this is all very real, and I think that these are some of the things that I personally love most about Cradlewise. I could go on, but I'll stop for a minute. I'm just kind of rambling through my thoughts as it's been for the past few months, my experience.
Yeah, yeah. No, these are all very important points. Like we also realize that for some parents, the portability is so important. Obviously, we have not given wheels because it's a safety concern, but we have ensured that they have like a small nylon bush so that it glides easily on a wooden surface, and on the carpets you can drag it, or even two of you and your partner can easily move it around. So as you mentioned, that's very important for you. Thanks for double clicking on that. I wouldn't have remembered to talk about it. And what Ragini mentioned is that we send out product updates every month, and because the crib is over the air update enabled. So what that means is your crib at the end of 2 years is not going to be like the old outdated model, but it's going to be as new as any other crib, because we update the software over the air, just like your Tesla. It has all these updates that come because we are improving the features. We are improving our baby detection algorithms. We hear to our parents that they want time-based control for their caregiver. So all these features that were not possible as a startup to launch the perfect product on day one, we do keep adding all these as we get inputs and co-create with the parents. So that's one of the things that a lot of parents love, that they wait, and we were surprised that though parents are busy, they wait for our product updates, because it's nice. It keeps you like that touch with your crib, that okay, my feature is being rolled out next month. Yep. All right. So I think so in the interest of I'll start showing the internals of the crib. Meanwhile, Ragini and Emily, if there are any questions, you could please feel free to unmute. And we want it to be more chitty chatty. I don't know why you all are so quiet. Please unmute. Please ask any questions. This is your chance. I wish I had this when I was having my first kid.
Hi, yes, we have a question. You're gonna go ahead and take yourself off mute.
Hi, yes, I do have a question as far as the monitor. Let's say I have the app open and I'm in another part of the house. Does it have a two-way speaker? So if the baby cries, could I hear her through the app? Or would I need a specific to buy another product in order to hear that?
Yeah, so the audio monitor, you can actually turn off your phone completely and still have that persistent audio. So you can have it close by, you can do things around the house, you can even be out of the house and be able to still hear everything. And then in terms of two-way, it's not something that we offer right now in terms of being able to speak to your baby, but it is something that we have had requested and something that we've talked about internally.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Any other questions before we look at the inside? Great.
All right. So just gotta get this. So and you want to pin? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can see, this is the bassinet mode, and for the first 6 months, it's easy to scoop your baby because you need to give the neck support, right? So generally you need to use both your hands. So it's easy to scoop the baby out. The height is comfortable for you for the frequent diaper change. And right now, I'm going to show how the construction is from the inside. I'm going to show the mattress too. So here you have a Velcro that you can peel off and remove the bassinet mesh. I'm just going to stop. So give me a moment. I'm just going to stop.
And Radhika, while you do that, I actually have one more question. As
Okay.
far as the height of the actual bed, is that adjustable or does it just come as is?
So, so there are only two height adjustments. One is the bassinet mode and the crib mode. You cannot actually adjust it to any in-between levels because as per certifications, that's not allowed. And there are strict certifications for how much the bassinet should be and how much the crib should be. So there are only two modes of operation.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah. So this is
Radhika,
the bassinet mesh. This comes out very easily. It just peels off. You can wash this in your washer. And then there is an attachment here. This is very easy to remove. You can just take it out. And that's it. It converts to a crib. You can use the same bed. I'm also going to show you that the crib mesh is you can unzip it. You can see it from both the videos. The crib mesh just comes out. You'll have to remove one more board from the bottom, and then you can wash this crib mesh too, because you're going to be using this product for 2 years. So if you are a very particular parent where cleanliness and all of that, so and it's dynamic, right, with kids, so you want to keep it as clean, and you can just wash this, and it's easy to dry. It can be used dried in a dryer, and you can keep the crib as clean through the 2 years. Yes, I see somebody has raised the hand.
yes, Radhika. So actually, I have 3 questions. So please bear with me.
Yes. Oh yeah, of course. No, I love questions. Please tell me.
So the very first question is that we have a 1-year-old Labrador, and I'm fearful that at one point or other, like he will get his hands on this mat.
Yeah.
Away. So will we be able to get replacements for the parts that we might need to replace?
Yes, we do have actually a lot of sometimes people reach out to us, not a lot. Sometimes people reach out to us if they are passing on the crib and they want the bassinet mesh to be replaced or whatever. So we do have that. We are also launching it as an accessory on the website, so you can just buy it. But Emily, who is also a pet parent, can give some insights onto. You don't need to worry a lot about the mesh, and I do understand that pets can be a little nosy.
For sure. So I have a Cradlewise in my home. It's not being used by either one of my kids. They're a little too old, but it's actually in my dining room. I use for testing. And I have 2 very badly behaved cats. But I will tell you that, it really does look as good as new. And we also offer an extended warranty program, Cradlewise Protect. And Cradlewise Protect also covers all of the soft goods. And so if anything does happen, then we would replace that as a part of that program.
Perfect.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
The other question that I had is that can we replace the mattress? I mean, just if we can find something better for the kid, over the 2 years period. So
Yeah.
we have a specific dimension, right? That is kind of
Right. So let me go ahead and actually show you the mattress. So, Hiren, you cannot use any other mattress but the one provided by Cradlewise. It is actually a safety concern, and we have big ugly warnings here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, these are mandatory. I mean, we cannot do away. We won't get the certification without. So they clearly mentioned that no using any other fitted sheet, mattress cover, or the bed. One of the reasons is, see, the bed, if you can see, I'm going to show you. Okay, this is a fitted sheet. It peels off, and then this is a mattress cover that peels off. And then you have the mattress. So the mattress is very thin. The reason for that is the crib is qualified as just one second. This crib is qualified as a non-rigid crib, and because the sides are soft. Even like Snoo, which they have a cloth right around. These are non-rigid bassinets, unlike the slatted cribs, which are called as rigid cribs. So if the normal cribs that you see in the stores, they have a very big blocky mattress. That's allowed because in a soft side crib, and if you use the blocky mattress, there's a possibility that the baby could wedge between the soft side and the blocky mattress.
Yep.
So
Right.
that's why it's a safety concern. And that's why, as per the certifications, the mattress cannot be more than 1.5 inches thick. So that there's no possibility of wedging, or, there's no gap, basically. And this mattress has a unique shape, right? Because it exactly fits the shape of the crib. And if you use a mattress which is too big or too small, it is a risk. So you cannot use any other mattress. And Ragini, you can add here, like, how did you like the mattress? Was Ria comfortable on this mattress?
Yeah, Ria's very comfortable on this mattress. I will say the only thing I don't like about the mattress is because it's so wonderfully flexy, it's really hard to put the bed sheets on it, but I have learned over time. I've learned how to put the bed sheets, and also I do wish you guys would offer more prints and patterns because your own mattress is so specific. Like I don't try looking for other products because I just want, I want the sheet to fit the mattress really well, so that, because my Ria is very destructive and explory, she likes to try and investigate. So one of these days she'll just start changing her own sheets, which is why I don't mess around with any other sheets other than the Cradlewise ones. I would love to see more colors and patterns. I, as a parent, find it is tricky to put the sheet on, but I have learned how to do it now. But in terms of baby's comfort, no, I don't think that there is any issue. It's just different. I hadn't seen anything like it. But yeah, I think the mattress works.
Yep.
It just, the thickness, I was wondering if will that be super comfortable for the kid or not. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll just explain you what the mattress is made of, and how it's designed. So we've paid a lot of attention while designing this, because as a mother, I was like, if I had to place my baby in the crib, what I would have used, because I'm very particular. Baby's going to sleep on this for 12 to 15 hours on an average, for the first 2 years. So we were very particular about what goes in the mattress. So we have a mattress which is made of 3 layers. It has natural rubber latex on the top. You can see that it's slightly soft. Then at the bottom, we have a ABS sheet, which gives it the firm and flat shape, so that it rests properly in the crib. And then in between these 2 layers, we have a coconut coir layer. So we have not used any polyurethane padding, right? Like a lot of baby beds have this foam or the petroleum products that go as a sponge or the foam material. Those are known to emit volatile organic compounds. For example, your sofas or your own bed, they emit a lot of VOCs that pollute the indoor air. So our entire crib is Green Guard Gold certified, which actually tests for 20,000 materials, like the gases that generally come out of these products. So the mattress is also Green Guard Gold certified, and I would urge you to use this mattress itself, mainly from the safety perspective of the product. Yep.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Margot, you had a question?
Yes. Hi, guys. I just had a question on the app, because I do see that there's a Spotify speaker in beta. I was wondering, like, what like, if you guys are like testing something, what's coming around, and also this in terms of connectivity, if there's like any talks or potential to then link it to any of the home systems, for example, like Alexa or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. So Spotify, you can use your crib as the speaker and play your Spotify. Like, you need a subscription to Spotify. Without that, you cannot. But you can play any song that we in fact have curated playlists Cradlewise playlist on Spotify also. So you can play any song from Spotify and stream it to your crib. It's there from the settings. I did not mention about it, but yes, thanks for observing that. So you basically you can we realize this, that the music or the song that you play is such a cultural thing. We have some parents who are musicians and want a particular kind of genre for their baby, so you can stream Spotify songs through Cradlewise, and that's available to you. And on the Alexa or like the smart home integration, I think so that's slightly further down the road. We don't have anything that will come out till the end of 2023, but Emily, you can share our product roadmap blog, and we will follow up on those. That's slightly, I mean, we are adding few functionalities which are like more basic, like the twin mode and all of that, before we get to the smart home integration. So in all honesty, I won't be able to give you a timeline on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was helpful.
Thank you. Yeah. Hiren, I know you had one more question apart from, you just finished 2 of your questions. So you want to go ask.
Right. So, like we say that this Cradlewise is usable for 24 months. I just wanted to get an idea that how practical is possible, and if there are customers who have used it throughout 2 years without any problem.
Yeah. So yes, it's a standard mini crib size. So it goes from 0 to 2 years. So end to end, right? From this rail to this rail, it's 90 centimeters. And it's, if your baby is even in 95 percentile height wise, it is more than enough for a 2-year-old to sleep in it. Because we do hear some parents who say that no way this is going to last for 2 years. But honestly, the growth, right? Like 0 to 1 year, they are like on an growth highway. Their weight and the height, I think so. That's also the most difficult phase, right? Because they're growing so fast. Every 2 weeks, their milestones are so different. So basically, for the first 1 year, they will grow in centimeters, I think so. I'm sorry, I'm not quite, I don't remember. But yeah, they they grow very fast but in the second year, it's like very little growth. So if they would have grown 80%, they'll go only 20% in the second year. So 90 centimeters is more than enough for 95 percentile. And I don't know, Ria is on the taller side. How is it, Ragini? I don't know.
She's a little bit on the taller side. And Hidrin, that's a good question, because honestly, like I'm watching Ria and I'm like, she's growing as I'm watching her. And I'm like, is this gonna last for 2 years? I've actually had the same question myself. But then when I actually look at the data on the internet based on what Radhika is saying, yeah, I think they're just growing so fast. But like I had the same skeptical sort of thought the other day as I was looking at her like spread out. She also likes to sleep in all kinds of Cirque du Soleil acrobatic positions, but it's working really well. So based on like the logic that Radhika is saying, yes, I personally think also TBD, but I have faith.
Yeah. And also, as they grow older, right? Like they generally babies sleep in womb position with their hands near their ears, the legs slightly curled in. So it's gonna be just enough. With also the sides are soft, so unlike a typical crib where it's all slats and hardwood,
Right.
you get a little bit of flex space to have them sleep. We have had parents sleep even till 2.5 years in Cradlewise. We have that distribution of age wise. So we think that 2 years should be good enough. And why we designed it up to 2 years, because at 2 years, generally parents move to a toddler bed, or sometimes after 2 years, parents do end up even bed sharing and co-sleeping, because that's the best. So, yeah.
So actually, I have already placed an order last month. So I should be getting in November. So can I expect any delay, or it will be on time delivery?
Oh, we are on time. I don't like those days of like, we were supply constrained and having a lot of supply chain issues like every other company because of port conditions. But I think so things are better now. So you should not worry about that, Hiren.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then you'll also receive an update from us on the first of the month that you ordered for, with a more exact window of when to expect your delivery.
Perfect. I know we are out of time. One just last question. You
Yeah,
mentioned the Spotify integration.
right.
So the one that I'm gonna receive in November end, will that have that integration, or we'll have to wait?
No,
Or
no, it's there. It's there right now on every crib. Like we launched it last Black Friday actually. So it's there for everybody. It's slightly hidden in the sense we are working on the UI to make it more so that parents discover it easily. But otherwise, if you just scroll through settings, you should be able to connect your crib as a Spotify speaker, and then stream it on the crib.
awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. And then just one
Yeah,
more
thank
thing
you.
to piggyback off of that. Radhika mentioned this earlier, but everything is over the air updated. So any new features that are released, throughout the years that you're using this, you're going to get benefit of that as well.
Yep. All right. So I did talk about the Mattress, a little bit about the certifications. I would like to, because it's a wild world of certifications, that it's such a important, important about safe sleep and what are the guidelines that you follow and all of that. But when you're selecting a crib, what you should be looking at is it has all the certifications as laid out by Consumer Product Safety Commission. CPSC is lays out guidelines for products, not only cribs, but for car seats and lot of other baby products, toys, even our like treadmills and all of that, right? CPSC is the governing body that says that these are the certifications that the particular consumer product should comply to. They don't write these certifications. There are ASTM standards for infant cribs, infant bassinets, infant monitors. And since we are all of those, we have certifications for all these three as mandated by CPSC. So these are the mandated certifications. We also are a part of Juvenile Products Manufacturers Association, JPMA. It's a body of all the baby manufacturers, and they have a more holistic certification list, which ultimately ties back to ASTM. So we are JPMA qualified too. We also have gone above and beyond and done optional certification, which is Green Guard Gold, just to ensure that as a baby company, we are not introducing one more product that again pollutes your indoor air. So that's another certification that we have. Every consumer electronics product has to go through radiation tests, which is a FCC. So we are FCC qualified for the electronics that goes into the crib. And on the other end, California has a lot of other certifications like CP65, California Prop 65. What they actually do is they ensure that there are no cancer-causing materials that are used in any product, not only the crib. A lot of, like if you go on the retail stores and the packaging for these the blankets and stuff, they do use some materials that are cancer causing. So there's a big notice on that, these products might contain cancer causing material. So if you have any cancer causing material, you need to put that big notice on the box, on the packaging. But we are CP65 qualified. We don't have any leads, phthalates, BPA in any of the products that go in the crib. As you can see, we have used minimum plastic. It's just the plastic cover on the baby monitor. Everything else is like wood. When your baby's teeth, they will start to biting on the rail. So everything is very safe, safe materials, safe chemicals. The cotton is, we have used 100% cotton in the product. So that way you should be it should be a peace of mind for you to use Cradlewise. Yes, Irene. Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Yep. So we've gone above and beyond because I think so technology is fine, but safety. A day a baby doesn't sleep, obviously you will snuggle and curl. But we've ensured that we are very particular about what goes into the crib, especially as a mom myself. I have ensured that, when we were even designing the first CAD of the product, we we've been very particular about everything that goes in the product. Something that I wouldn't have used for my baby is not in the crib. Yep, I think so. We've gone much over, but if you have any questions, please feel free to fire.
No, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Emily, Ragini, Radhika. This was a great session. And honestly, I love the product not just because it gives parents a little more extra time for things to do, but it actually improves the quality of sleep for the kid, and that
Yep.
is most important. So yeah, thank you very much for innovating this product. Can't wait.
Yes. Great. We're looking forward to delight you all in your sleep journey. And thank you, Ragini. Thank you so much for sharing, your honest feedback. And really appreciate you spending 1 hour with us today. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, I know we're over time, 20 seconds. The only thing I want to say, like before, we close is, guys, like it's kind of obvious, but also like the built-in camera feature and the sound capability, like it's awesome. It's not just about cost, it's the convenience it gives you. Believe it or not, like here's how I use it. Sometimes I have my phone and I'm in the room and I'm literally hiding in a corner of the room so that Ria can't see me while I wait for her to fall asleep. We recently started sleep training. Cradlewise is amazing because even when you're in the room, you're watching them on the monitor so you could really see like what their real-time status is. You cannot do this. You can't do this the same way with like a room security camera. So we have a security camera in the room, but when I log into the app, that doesn't give me like the up close personal sort of how is she breathing, how is she moving. Cradlewise does that. So I very often, it sounds counterintuitive, but as new parents, you'll probably also discover this for yourselves. I do use the app even when I'm in the room to kind of see what's going on with her. And I think that this is something you can't get. And, trying to strap a baby monitor onto a crib, that's like a falling hazard. Like you don't have to worry about any of that with Cradlewise. So I just want to kind of emphasize that from like really like use case in a real household. Like that's something that I can't say enough thank you to Cradlewise for.
Great. Yes. Thanks, Ragini, for adding that, because yes, I do remember that when you go and see what's happening, they get activated further. So it does help if you're remotely just watching that, oh, I don't think she needs my help. She's just, about to fall asleep. So yes, I do understand the value of that. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. All right. If you have any questions, please write us to support@cradlewise.com. Emily and her team personally monitor this email and we'll be able to, get back to you with any of the questions that you might have. And great. Have a very nice weekend ahead, and hope hope to have your baby sleep in Cradlewise.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.